Hey, we are live and it is Tuesday and something's going on with Facebook. I don't know exactly what. So we'll hopefully get people to pop on here. And I see we've got some people here already. Welcome, Jeanette. Good to see you. And Donna's here from North Carolina. Gina's here from Mount Vernon, Washington. And Cactus and Deb is in the house from Glendale, Arizona. Hi, Deb. Gotta again apologize. Last evening we had a computer issue and we were not able to get it squared away to bring you last night's live. So what we're going to do is we're going to show that next Monday, which is Memorial Day. And I hope we get to see you there. My Michigander buddy Linda is here. And Linda from El Paso, hello, welcome. She's here until supper is ready. Pam is here from Maine and Marcia from Illinois. Joey, hello. Kathy's here from New York. She's no longer in Florida. Back for the summer. Linda's also here from New York. Welcome, my friend. And Susan from South Carolina. Marina's here from Kansas.
Few times.
And Linda's here from Brisbane, Australia. Good morning, Linda. Oh, Deb, it's good to be here tonight. I really missed last night and all you guys. I really did. Charlene's here from Colorado. And Elizabeth is here from Birch Run, Michigan. Ken, do you know where Birch Run is?
Yes.
He does.
Yeah. It's in the foreign country on the Eastern time zone.
It's in the or Elizabeth, he says you're in the Eastern time zone and it's a different country where you're from. Oh, so what that tells me is you are definitely from the Lower Peninsula.
Well,
And Julie is here from Iron Mountain, just up the street a little ways. So what we've got tonight, Christmas. I know it's not Christmas time, but we're going to look at some Christmas templates because the that's how the alphabet falls. Elizabeth's right off of I-75. Well, I know I-75. I think we all do. Beverly Kramer is here from Wisconsin. Hi. Oh, Linda wants to know if Elizabeth wants to go shopping. I think that is so awesome. So awesome. So let's take a look at what we've got here. This is a set of 4-inch motifs, and we have 6 of them. And what the 4 inches is from the top to the bottom of each motif. I did measure them. They all have different widths. And I was going to measure these for you as we look at them, okay? So get that. And please excuse sniffles. It's allergy season. And this year, my allergies have really been giving me grief. Ask Ken, he can tell you all about it. Okay, so our gingerbread man is 4 inches tall, and what we show here is 1, 2, 3 and a quarter inches wide. So when we put our ruler foot on, he's going to be 2 3/4 inches wide. Then we have this cute little stocking. I think it's just adorable. I have so many ideas floating around in my head for these guys. And to get the widest angle on this, we have to go from the heel up here to the tip of the toe. So let's go ahead and see where we're at here. One, two, three, and it looks like 3 1/8. So what we're going to say is 2 5/8 of an inch wide on that one. And here we've got this nice symmetrical ornament. And we're looking at 1, 2, 3 inches, so 2 1/2 inches wide. And remember, if we have a symmetrical template, we can turn it either way we want without having to put staple tape on both sides. So the tree is going to be the widest point down here. 1, 2, 3. It looks like it's really close to 4, guys. So we're going to call this one 3 1/2. I love the bell. I love the bell. It's so simple and so easy to do. All right, so here we go. 1, 2, 3 3/4. So it's actually going to be 3 1/4. Now catch this star. It's a wonky star, and it is so cool. I love this wonky star. Danelle outdid herself when she designed this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 3/8. So it's going to be 3 5/8 of an inch. So what I want to do is I want to show you a couple of ways that we can use these. The first one I'm going to show you is going to be kind of unexpected. I'm going to lift you up just a little bit here. And what I've got here is I've got a 2 1/2 inch simple circle. And what I've done is I've gone ahead and I have put 8 reference lines in here. And I'm going to line up my 2 1/2 inch simple circle. Going to set my foot height. There it is. I'm going to go ahead and start at the top and I am going to stitch this circle. You may be wondering why in the world I'm going to do it this way. Well, I hope that you will find this way to be interesting and kind of unique. So here we go. One stitch in place. Oh, and I need to get these all out of my way or I'm going to be dumping them on the floor. Okay, here we go. Around our circle, keeping our stitches small so that we have a really nice smooth circle. I'm going to go ahead and put that needle down and cut this thread off. And keep on going. All right. So I gotta share something. You guys are gonna love this, okay? I read that basil, if you plant basil in your garden, mosquitoes will stay away. So today I do have my plants. They're not all in my garden yet because we've had to put them in the garage for frost warnings. But as we were coming in tonight, I mentioned again, since I've got the basil out there, we've had absolutely no mosquitoes. And he looked at me and said, yeah, you're right. At 36 degrees, we're not going to have mosquitoes. So the basil's working. Lisa, hi from Sugarland. Deanna's here from Primeville, Oregon. Good evening and welcome. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the tree first. And I'm going to go ahead and just do the tree. The tree has a lot of really good markings on it. Here's our center. You'll notice it has a needle channel instead of a gate. And each of these big areas, or from solid line to solid line, you'll see is 1 inch. And it is 1 inch on the horizontal plane as well as the vertical plane. Now we have a couple extra little lines drawn in here. And what these lines are going to denote is the widest portion of the template. Didn't I tell you Danelle did a really great job here? The dashed lines are also 1 inch wide from each other, but they're 1/2 inch away from the solid lines. So here to here is 1 inch, here to here is 1/2 inch. So that's how these lines are working. Okay, just wanted to touch base with that. So 1 stitch in place. Again, I need to move these guys. Didn't I just move them out of the way? I think I did. I think I need to do it twice. Now, when I first looked at these, I kind of looked at them and thought, okay, we could hang them off a swag, which Donnell shows on her instructions, which is really beautiful. We can easily template these guys because of the size alone. It makes it easy to template them. But I wanted to do something a little bit different with them. So I went ahead and I used my crosshair ruler, my 8-point crosshair ruler, and I went ahead and put 8 reference lines in. Okay. So here is our first design. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and I am going to put in, that's the one I'm looking for. I'm going to put in our ornament. Here's our tree. This is going to be our ornament. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how we can go back, put the circle in, and travel on the circle. Now at this point, we can actually take the gate out because we're not using the whole circle. We're just going to be using a portion of it. And in order to make sure that we are exactly where we need to be, what we're going to do is we're going to line it up the same way we lined it up when we first stitched it. Now, if you want to be sure, you can always use your spacing gauge. The spacing gauge comes in handy for this. And if you're really good at free motion, or you want to practice your free motion, this is a good place to do it. So I'm going to take that out. Okay, and there it is. I knew I had my 12-inch arc out here. Use my spacing gauge. There we go. And I'm going to come down. I'm going to stop when the outside edge of my foot touches this, that tick mark that I put in there. And that is 4 inches from the center. 3.5 would have been better. Well, there I went ahead and came all the way down anyway, didn't I? Okay, so now let's go ahead and take our ornament, put the ornament on here, and line it up. And off we go. Don't forget to take your extra hesitation stitch right where we are making a corner. And here we go. Now, my thought on this is it would look really nice to either template or applique. These shapes in this set of templates is perfect for applique because they're nice and large, easy to see, and very easy to applicate. So I am back at my beginning. I'm going to go ahead and turn this around. Use my spacing gauge. There we go. And come back to our 2.5-inch circle. Could you make a smaller circle? Yep, absolutely. You could make this a 2-inch if you don't have the 2.5-inch circle. And there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, back to the center here. Now this time I'm just going to go ahead and free motion this. Take your time. Keep moving. That's the key to successful traveling. Keep moving. Okay, let's see how this guy's going to work. He's going to work out really well, I think. Oh, Carolyn or Carla's here. Carla's here from Oklahoma City. Good to see you, Carla. Marigolds also help keep mosquitoes away. I read that, Deanna. I did not get any marigolds. Probably should. Ken, bless his heart, thinks every plant is a begonia. Okay. There we go. We'll line everything up here. And around we're going to go. Nice and easy around these little curves here. And remember, this is all curves, so we want to keep those stitches short. But you'll see just how easy this is to stitch. Okay, we want to be careful coming around this corner here. Just slow down. Whoops, I need to slow my machine down a little bit too. And around here, anytime we have a sharp curve, we want to slow down a little bit. And now we're going to come back to the beginning. And up we go. We're going to meet right on our 3.5-inch circle. Isn't that cute? Absolutely love this. This is how you can use all of your templates in a square. Okay, now this one we're not going to be able to come down as much, but that's okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put a mark here. And that's where I'm going to start my needle. Oops. And we're going to get that one out of the way. We're going to get this one and this one moved over here too. Now we only have 6 motifs, but we have 8 template or 8 lines. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just move, I'm going to do these guys on the corners twice. There we go. Now this, oh, yeah, I know it's not going to work because I need to come down, don't I? Okay. my spacing gauge out. And we're going to come down to our mark. And stop with our needle down. And we're going to put the big bell in. Again, remember, all of these templates have the mark in the center of the template for easy placement. Now we've got this type of what do they call that part of the ornament?
Clapper.
The top?
Clapper.
Clapper. Oh.
The wall.
Okay. This is the clapper. So what we want to do is make sure that we go nice and straight and take our hesitation stitch in the corner, and there it is. And down we're going to go. We're going to come. And here we go. We're going to hit, there's the clapper that Ken was just referring to. That's the part that makes the bell ring, right?
Mm-hmm.
And over. Then we're going to come back up. We're going to take our hesitation stitch there. I hesitated a little longer than I normally would, but that's okay. This is practice, remember? In practice, we can make all the mistakes we want in practice. Okay, and here is the top or the crown of the ornament. And we are back. Isn't that cute? You could also use your Inktense pencils on here. Okay. So what I want to do is I want to make sure that I've got this measured. So when I come across here, I am able to get it the same distance. And I've got 1, 2, 2 3/4. So what I'll do is I'll come in here. I'll go 1, 2, and 3/4 and put my little mark right there. Sometimes we just have to improvise as we move along, right? Okay, here we go. And there we are. Right there. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to, this time I'll put the circle back in. And we're going to line it up the same way we lined it up when we first put it out there. And you'll see how beautiful that the spacing gauge works in there. Here we go. It is quicker with the template, no doubt about it.
Ronnie Wanika is in.
Ronnie's here. Ronnie's here from northeastern Arizona. Finished with dinner already, Ronnie. Good for you. Okay, so we still have to do, and we're going to do our gingerbread man next. Okay, so here we go. This has got a lot of hills and it's got a lot of curves, and we really want to take it easy with this little guy. Now remember, this is so important. I am not I'm not hunkering down on the template. I'm holding it, but I'm not pushing on it. I'm not putting a lot of pressure on it because we don't need that pressure on it. What we're doing is we're just stabilizing it so that when we move our foot and we glide it along the inside of that template, we're not moving the template. With the stable tape, what that does is it helps us to keep the template stable and move the fabric. There we go. And we've got our little gingerbread man right back to the top. Perfect. Okay, I'm going to put him over here. Now we're going to do the ornament again. I'm going to grab that out. Remember, we're going to do the ornament twice and the bell twice. And my foot needs to be readjusted. There we go. Yeah. Oh, now I readjusted it too good. There, I'm going to let it find its own height. Okay, so this is going to be the ornament. I'm going to go ahead and put that back in there. Oh, and I've got it upside down. I can feel my stable tape. I should not be able to feel it. We want the stable tape next to the next to the fabric. So what we're going to have here is you'll see how this comes up. You know what? I did it again, guys. I need to come down first, don't I?
Yeah, you do.
Thanks for reminding me, Ken. Okay, down we're going to go, and then we're not going to go over the previous.
Cut the gingerbread man's hand off.
Yeah, we don't want to cut the gingerbread man hand
Off.
off. And there we go. And now we're going to line up our ornament, remembering to take our hesitation stitch right there. And don't take too many hesitation stitches, because if you do, you'll end up with a knot of thread on the back. And remember, when we're doing this, most of the time we're quilting a finished product, which means a quilt sandwich. You've got your backing, you've got your batting, wadding, if you're from Australia or the UK, and then you have the top of your quilt. And what you want is you want the back of that quilt to look as pretty as the top. Okay, and I've got a little bit of plowing going on here. So I'm just going to go ahead and loosen up that foot and let it find its own way. And here we go, making that little bit of a hesitation stitch. And now I can put that guy away. I'm going to turn him around. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to let that foot fall where it wants to be. That's the best way to set your foot height. Oh, there we go. I just needed to tighten up the screw a little bit. and up to the top. And let's go around. And this time I'm just going to go ahead and travel, keeping my eye on my foot at all times. Remember, you don't need to keep your eye on the needle because by the time you hit that needle, it's too late. If you're not where you need to be, it's just not going to go there. Okay, so this guy is really big, but that's okay. He's really upside down too. All right, there we go. And we're going to go ahead. We got hills and valleys on this one too. I did not set that foot very well. Okay.
It's off center. The bottom of the star should be on the line, though. Center line?
You mean right here? Or are you thinking this needs to be here?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
we could do it that way, yeah. I think either way would be acceptable. We're going to do it that way.
That's what I would do. Your project.
Okay. This foot is really giving me grief tonight, isn't it? Okay, there we go. And around. Now, these stars do not have points like our starry night stars do. So we don't have to worry about hesitating at each star point. And we're going to come around. Come back this way. I'm just going to move it around the other direction. Yeah, something's holding me up on underneath here. And we're going to come back up to our circle. Now, I'm going to just go ahead and I'm going to break thread and see. Oh, this is what's holding me up. I had tape on here earlier for a seam allowance I was doing. I did not take the tape off and it was getting balled up under my needle. Now that is a good lesson to learn. I'm glad I picked it up and took a look at it. Now we shouldn't have any more problems. Well, who would have thought? I know I didn't. That would be the last thing I thought was causing a problem for me. So I'm glad that you're able to see that sometimes the best laid plans don't always work out, do they? Okay. And over to the fourth corner. We're going to stop there. I'm going to go ahead and just snip that off. And we need our bell. Our bell is our last template. Now I did it again.
You're consistent.
I am consistent, right? You guys all know. Okay. Ronnie had meatloaf for supper.
Smell it from here.
Ken said he could smell it. Now, do you believe that? If he said he could hear you, I would say absolutely not. But his sniffer still works really well. Okay, so here we go. Remember how we moved this a little bit over? I think had we left it with this center line in the center, we would not have to worry about coming over it because it would have come a little bit to the right and a little bit to the left.
It would have been the hitting that hanger for that, yeah.
It would have just come close, but it wouldn't have hit it. So let's see how things are going to go here. Now, if we want to know what's going to happen, we can look at it before we even start. So what you might want to do, okay, that's not going to work really well. So I'll show you what I'm going to do. I want the bell to go behind the star. So let's make that happen, okay? Take my stitch in place. I'm going to come around. I'm going to stop when I touch that star. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just travel until I hit my template again and continue on. Careful of that. Don't want to fall off of those cliffs. There's the clapper. This is worth noting. Right here, what you're going to see is the template actually comes out over the line. But we don't have to worry about that because we have 1/4 of an inch from the edge of the template to the needle. And that is taken up by our foot. And here we go. Do our hesitation stitch. I'm going to come back here. When we come back here, we're done. We have all of our motifs in. However, I'm still going to stitch up and I'm still going to travel back to the beginning. And the reason being is if you look at this line and this line, they look very different than all of the rest of them. And I want them to be consistent.
Uniform.
Ken says uniform. That's another word for it. Want them all to look exactly alike. It's like when you go to the ballet. All the ballerinas are in the same outfits if they're the backup band, and they all have their hair done the same way. So what you are focusing on is the group as a whole as opposed to each individual person. And with this, what you want to do is you want to see the whole outcome as opposed to each individual template. So, can you start with a circle and make a square? Yeah, you certainly can, because we just did. And there it is. So there it is. Starting with a small circle, coming out, we made a nice little square with all of our Christmas templates. Ah, Dave is here from I-65 near Birmingham,
Alabama.
Alabama, driving up to Tennessee. Okay. So what do you guys think? You think this looks good? This is something that is worth exploring. I really like it. You could have all of this come out farther, do 16 reference lines, and make a tree skirt out of it. That would be just beautiful, especially if you were to take and use the applique method to do the green tree, the red stocking, the brown gingerbread, and the gold star.
Linda's leaving Martindale.
Oh, time to eat supper for Linda. Ooh, does that sound good? A big salad with grilled shrimp on top. Enjoy, Linda. Enjoy. Okay. Linda Lombardo, my Michigan buddy, says she likes this idea. Cactus Deb says a Christmas pillow or a table topper. Either one will work, guys. Either one. Okay. So that's one thing we can do with this. Now, what I want to show you is probably something you've seen before. But I do want to cover it. Okay. So these are each 4 inches tall. So I'm going to grab them all and bring them back over here. There's the tree and there's the gingerbread man. And I think I'm going to sneeze. I'm going to try not to sneeze, okay? Oh, the joys of adgerlies. My girlfriend's grandson calls them adgerlies. Okay. And we're just going to put this gate in. You know, we really want to make sure that we put our gates in before we put our templates away, because what will happen, and I'm only saying this from experience, one gate will get left out and you'll never figure out which template it belongs to. Okay, so let's see how we're doing. All right, we're doing good. Oh, Carla has this set, but has not used them yet. Need all the shortcuts. Yeah, I know what you're saying, Carla. I get it. Okay, I know this isn't probably the best time in the world to be thinking about Christmas, but it never hurts to be prepared. So, what I've done is I put vertical markings 3 inches apart. And I'm going to come up and I'm going to place on the first, oh, Ken's tired. I gotta be honest with you, I'm tired too. I'm going to place the first mark at 4.5 inches. Okay, now we have to do some math. Mathing is not necessarily a bad thing. Okay, I came up 4.5 inches. My template is 4 inches tall. So if I want a 1/2 inch between the templates, I need to come up 4.5 inches again and put another tick mark. I will only have room for 2. 4.5 inches divided by 2 is 2 3/4 inches. So this is where I want the bottom of this one to end at 2 3/4 inches. And what that's going to do is allow me to come up 4.5 inches, put a tick mark here, and it will fall just between these 2 that I put on the previous line. Now it's easy. Now we can just lay our ruler here and follow the tick marks. We're going to go here, and this is going to be on the 1, 2, 3, 4th one. And we're going to come up here, and this will be the 3rd one. So we're going to have 2 on the 1st and 3rd line, and 1, just 1 on the 2nd and 4th. Now, what you can do is use the same template for each tick mark, which would be very consistent. Or if you want, you can use different templates for different tick marks. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to start at the top, and you're going to come down and around to the bottom. And actually what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to start on the line here. So we're going to start each one on this line.
Okay, and where's the other little monster? Over there?
One is under my feet.
Okay. That's Casey.
Keep it. We're just trying to keep track of the hooligans. And Casey is starting to make noises.
Yeah, well, they've had supper and they haven't built yet.
So. They need to go outside after supper, huh? Oh, I see you. Okay, so here we go. Take my 1 stitch in place and head on down to the tick mark. Stop with our needle down. I'm going to go ahead and snip off the thread here, because that's what I do, right? And now this is like any other template when we have to make a rotation and a half. I'm going to make the first one clockwise. Second one, I'm going to make counterclockwise. I'm going to put, I don't know yet, am I going to use all gingerbread in this line or not? Let's go ahead and get the first one in.
What's that? What's that? You mean the foot?
Okay, around we're gonna go, and Ken is leaving the building.
Oh, the dogs are. Yeah.
The dogs are suggesting it strongly. All right. And I'm going to stop because I'm getting kind of a little bit of difficulty seeing over here. So we're going to come back. Oh, look at what I did. I just got off of my
You got a little side?
template. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back that way. and correct that little error that I made, which should be really easy to do. And here we go.
Oh, okay.
The key is do not take your hands off that template until you get back to where you need to be. Now this is being a little difficult because I don't quite have enough fabric over here to hold on to. And this is why we like to supersize everything, okay? And around we're gonna go. I'm just gonna try and be very careful. And here's where I came off of the template. And I'm going to go ahead and fix that. And then I'll come back later and pick those stitches out. And we're going to stop in the center. So there is our little gingerbread man. Now, I have left here, how much room? Okay, 1.25 inches. And that's just about where I wanted it. So what you'll see is if I put another gingerbread man there, he's going to line up without any problem. But let's go ahead and put something else there instead. And I think I want to put the star here. So let's get my spacing gauge. Sometimes, it's really funny. Sometimes I'll use my spacing gauge a ton. And then all of a sudden, I don't need it for a while. And it's just so weird that that's the way it happens. Okay. Oh, I love it. Carla says she has the Mrs. Claus template set also. So she thinks she has Christmas covered. What do you guys think? Do you agree? It sounds like she sure does. Okay, so down, and now we're going to go ahead and put the ornament on. I think, it's hard to pick a favorite, but I don't know, I think I like them all. The star, though, is really cool. Okay, here we go. Now this time I'm going to go ahead and go clockwise, and I'm going to come down on the right side. This is not a point. Look at that beautiful curve at the bottom of this ornament. Absolutely love it. And we're going to come back up to the crown of the ornament. Hesitate, move on along, hesitate, and come back down. Okay, I'm going to stop right there because I just came up with an idea. I want to see if I can make this work, okay? What I'm going to do is I am going to get my skinny ribbon candy. Do I have it? Yeah, there it is. Okay. I know this isn't part of what you signed up for. Hi, Diane. Oh, I love it, Donna. Donna says if my son saw this shape, he would ask me to make cookies. Donna likes all the templates. Yeah, cookies sounds pretty good right about now. Okay, so what we're going to do here is I'm going to go ahead, I'm just going to take this one off. And I'm going to put this one on. And can I do this? Okay, this is really not going to work the way I was hoping it would. All right. Let's see if we can do it, guys, okay? I'm going to come this way. And I'm going to come down here. Now we need to bring it over here. And we're going to come down here on the, there we go. Stop right there. Yeah, this isn't going to work. Just simply because of the shape. I thought I could make it work, but it's not going to. So we're just going to come back down. I'm going to travel down here. There we go. Well, we tried. That's all we can do. We just got to try sometimes. And now I can go ahead and put my template back in. We're going to go ahead and line everything up again. Oh, there it is. I knew I had a spacing gauge out here. Okay, come up. There we go. And we're just going to go ahead and finish this up. Whoa, I just got caught on my fabric. Whoops. Let's just finish this up this way. There we go. Now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to travel down. And we're going to come across. Sometimes I find traveling backwards when I'm doing straight lines to be easier. We're going to come up to here. This is a great time for you guys to say, I'm going to practice all different directions. Okay. Rhonda says she could use it for an advent calendar, and you're absolutely right. This would make a perfect advent calendar, Ronnie. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to go up to the mark. This is the danger of getting too close to the edge. And this is how I fix it. When you see my hands like this, I'm holding the template, but I'm not pushing on the template. Okay? I could even move the template up a little ways. But what I'm doing is I'm getting as much of my hand as I can, including this finger here, on the fabric so that I can more easily guide that fabric to move along nice and straight. And you'll see it works perfectly. Okay, it's going to keep going here. There we go. Now we should be able to let's take our stocking and I got something under there. That would be that's danger. Danger, Will Robinson. Danger. Okay, so here we go. Nice and easy. Going around this clip. I love the stocking. I love the shape that it has and how it so easily forms the little pleats or the ruching that is present in most stockings. And up we're going to go. This is an area you really want to be cautious of. There we go. Going to put that my hand down again to make it easier to work from side to side as opposed from up till the up down. And these are skills that you will find to be very valuable as you continue your ruler journey. And there we go. By keeping my hands on the template, what you saw me do was move one and then the other, and that kept everything nice and even so that I could move easily from one design or one portion of the template to the next. And we're going to come up here to this line. Okay, there it is. Up we're going to go. And I think I'm going to go about another half an inch. There we go. And I can put a second one in here. So let's see how the star is going to fit in here. Oh, perfect. Absolutely perfect. Now this star does have a tendency to go over to one side, and that's nothing wrong with it. Going clockwise on this one because we want our heavy line of stitching to be on the right side. It's on the left side for the stocking, and we want to keep them opposite. Now you're going to see that this particular star point that we're coming into right here actually goes a long way out. And this is why I decided that rather than lining each of these templates up like little tin soldiers, which would be another cool template for Christmas, I would go ahead and set them up so that they were opposite each other. There we go. And around we go. We're almost there, guys. Don't forget, when you get a new template, you should not open it up and stitch it out. You should pull your stitching line discs out, try it on paper a few times, in a few different ways. Find what way you like the best as far as the look and the ease of stitching. When I draw mine out, I draw them just exactly like how I would stitch them. And there we go. We'll go ahead and we will snip those threads off. There we go. And you see how big and beautiful that actually stitches out? It really will go quickly because those templates are so large. You can get like a lap quilt done easily in a few hours. Okay. Again, don't forget to applicate. Don't forget you can template these. Don't forget that you can come over these with another template and fill it in and make pretty designs on it. So mine was a fail. But you know what? It's okay because I wasn't expecting to do that. So I didn't pull out my stitching line discs and practice first. And that's why we do pull out those stitching line discs and practice. Now, for those of you who are free motion quilters, you could even do something like this. Of course, you would want to probably put some lines to follow. Whoops. Okay, one more. You'll get the idea though. Look at how pretty you can just embellish this. Oops, there we go. Take one of your other templates and go ahead and embellish it. That's definitely worth it. We've got small circles. We can make, oh, I don't have small circles there, but I do have one here. So what we can do with our gingerbread man, there we go. There we go. Let's see. We can put little buttons on here. Two more stitches, okay. There we go. And let's go up a couple of stitches here. And we're going to go ahead and take that out. And there you've got some little buttons on him. The only thing that limits the types and number of designs that you can make is your imagination. Draw it out, try it out, and fall in love with it, or say, I don't think I'll do that one again. I have days like that. I really do. So that's what I have for you tonight. Tomorrow morning, we are going to be back at 8 a.m. Central Time, 9 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Mountain, and 6 a.m. Pacific. And in Australia, it'll be tomorrow late afternoon instead of this morning. So I hope that you meet me back here for Spin Effects number 11. We've got a little bit of Christmas going on here, and I hope you find it interesting, and I hope that you liked it. Ronnie, I love your idea about an advent calendar for grandkids. This year, I am going to have two great grandchildren for Christmas, and I think that would be a perfect thing to start them with for their Christmas traditions. I want to thank you all for being here tonight. Don't forget, like, subscribe, and share. You're welcome, Lisa and Susan. And if you have any questions, you can go sostay.com under the instructor educator page, and you will find my contact information. Please, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to get a hold of me. Linda, you are quite welcome. I again appreciate very much you spending your time with me, and I will look forward to seeing you again very soon. And until we meet again, let's quilt.